Late last night and early today, at my direction, the United States Armed Forces conducted an extraordinary military operation in the capital of Venezuela. Overwhelming American military power, air, land, and sea, was used to launch.
In the 1980s, Venezuela was the richest country in Latin America, top 20 wealthiest in the world, more oil than Saudi Arabia. Today, 8 million people have fled, 1 in 4, gone. And 5 days ago, the couple who did this, dragged out of their palace in handcuffs. What they're charged with is insane. This is truth or hoax. Let me give you a number: 250 tons of cocaine per year moving through one country. Under government protection. That's not a cartel, that's a national business model. And the guy running it used to drive a bus, I'm not joking.
Not war, not war. Just peace, just peace.
Nicolas Maduro. Before politics, his job was driving a city bus in Caracas. That's it. That's the resume. So how does a bus driver end up running a country like a drug operation? One name, Hugo Chavez. Chavez took power in '99.
People who have suggested that you are somewhat loco.
Socialist revolution, share the wealth, power to the people, the whole thing. And honestly, at first people believed it. Venezuela had oil money pouring in. Chavez promised to spread it around, help the poor, build hospitals and schools. The guy was genuinely popular for a while. Maduro was a true believer from day one. Loyal soldier. Did whatever Chavez needed, and Chavez noticed, kept promoting him. Foreign minister, vice president, the inner circle. When Chavez died of cancer in 2013, Maduro was standing right there, ready. He grabbed power, held an election that nobody really trusted, won by the thinnest margin. And then, he never let go. But here's the part most people don't know. Maduro isn't the brains, never was. His wife is, Cilia Flores. You've probably never heard her name, but in Venezuela, everyone knows exactly who she is. Former head of the National Assembly, lawyer, politician for over 2 decades. She was powerful before she even married Maduro. While Maduro did speeches and played strongman for the cameras, she built the machine behind the scenes. She controlled the judiciary, handpicked every judge, made sure every court ruling went exactly the way she wanted. Built corruption networks that moved billions out of the country, decided who got rich and who got destroyed. The New York Times called her the power broker. Honestly, that's being polite. She's the one who held everything together. Maduro was the face. She was the brain. And her family, right in the middle of all of it. 2015, 2 of her nephews got arrested. Efrain Campo Flores and Frankie Flores. Blood relatives. The charge, conspiracy to ship 800 kilos of cocaine into the United States. But here's where it gets wild. The DEA had them on tape, actual recordings, conversations with undercover agents. On the tape, they said, and I'm not paraphrasing, they were at war with the United States. They explained the drug money was meant to keep their family in power. Their family, the people running Venezuela. And here's the kicker. Where were they shipping from? The presidential hangar at a Venezuelan airport, not some hidden airstrip in the jungle. The president's personal facility, where government planes take off and land. Both nephews convicted in US federal court, 18 years each, the First Lady's own blood relatives. Caught, convicted, using presidential property to move cocaine. You'd think that would be the end of it, right? Guess what happened next? 2022. The Biden administration negotiates a prisoner swap. 7 Americans held in Venezuelan prisons come home, wrongfully detained, basically hostages. And in exchange, the 2 nephews walk free. 18-year sentences. Erased. They fly back to Venezuela, back to the family, just like that. That's what power looks like when nobody can touch you. Federal drug convictions disappear with a phone call. But here's the thing about running a country like a crime family. Eventually, the bill comes due. Let's talk about what Maduro and Cilia actually left behind. Venezuela sits on the largest proven oil reserves on the planet. More than Saudi Arabia, more than Russia, more than anyone. In the 70s and 80s, that meant money. Serious money. Venezuela wasn't just doing okay, it was thriving. Richest country in South America, one of the top 20 wealthiest nations in the world. People from all over Latin America migrated to Venezuela looking for opportunity, jobs, better life, the same way people used to come to America. So where did all that money go? Gone, not mismanaged, not lost to bad luck, stolen. Billions moved out of the country, into shell companies, Miami condos, European bank accounts, gold reserves that just vanished from the national treasury. Government officials buying luxury apartments in Manhattan, ministers flying private jets to Paris for shopping trips, yachts, sports cars, designer everything. Meanwhile, back home, the economy didn't just decline, it collapsed. Hyperinflation hit 1,000,000%. Let me put that in perspective. Imagine you saved your whole life, worked hard, put money away for retirement, for your kids, for emergencies. One morning you wake up and it's worthless. All of it, gone overnight. A month's salary couldn't buy a carton of eggs. People literally used cash as toilet paper because it was cheaper than buying actual toilet paper. That's not an exaggeration. That actually happened. Hospitals ran out of medicine. Basic stuff. Antibiotics, painkillers. Then they ran out of electricity. Doctors performing surgery by phone flashlight, hoping the battery didn't die. Parents watching their children get sick with no way to help them. Pharmacies empty. Clinics closed. Nothing available. People eating from garbage, fighting over scraps in the street, children starving, not hungry, starving, bones showing through skin, the kind of images you see from war zones. But this wasn't war, this was policy. This was two people deciding their power mattered more than everyone else's survival. And the people who tried to fight back, protests started almost immediately. Thousands in the streets, year after year, demanding change, demanding elections, demanding their country back. The government's response, tear gas first, then rubber bullets, then real bullets. Students shot dead in the streets, young people, kids with their whole lives ahead of them. Journalists started disappearing, one day reporting the truth, next day gone, families never told what happened, opposition leaders thrown in prison, tortured, some never seen again. Anyone who spoke up became a target. 2024, they held an election. Maduro claimed victory with 52%. Nobody believed it, not even close. International observers called it the largest electoral fraud in Latin American history. The real results, leaked by brave officials inside the system, showed Maduro lost. Badly. Didn't matter. He declared himself winner. Cracked down even harder. More arrests, more violence. The message was clear. We don't care what you want. We're not leaving. So people left instead. 8 million Venezuelans have fled the country. Let that sink in. 8 million. 1 in 4 people. Gone. The largest refugee crisis in the Western Hemisphere. Bigger than anything in modern Latin American history. Mothers crossing jungles with babies strapped to their backs. No food, no water, just trying to get anywhere else. Families walking for weeks, sleeping on roadsides, begging for help in Colombia, Peru, Ecuador, wherever would take them. Fathers who used to have good jobs, engineers, teachers, doctors, now doing anything to survive. Washing cars, selling candy on street corners, whatever it takes. Kids who've never known anything but crisis. Growing up in a country that can't feed them. Then growing up as refugees in countries that don't want them. And most of the world barely noticed. Venezuela became a slow-motion catastrophe that stopped making headlines. Just another sad story people scrolled past. Until 2 days ago, January 3rd, 2026, middle of the night, Caracas. US Special Forces launch a massive operation. Over 150 jets, 20 air bases coordinated. Target, the presidential palace. This wasn't a quiet extraction. This was a full military strike. Maduro heard them coming. You don't survive as a dictator for over a decade without instincts. He grabbed Cilia. They ran. The palace has a fortified safe room, reinforced walls, steel doors, designed for exactly this kind of situation. They almost made it. American soldiers breached the room, found them inside, cornered, nowhere left to run. By sunrise, Nicolas Maduro, president of Venezuela, dictator for 11 years, was in handcuffs. So was Cilia Flores, the real power behind everything. Video dropped that night, posted by official White House accounts. Maduro walking through a DEA office in New York. 2 federal agents gripping his arms, being processed like a common criminal. And here's the part I can't stop thinking about. He was smiling. After everything. The starvation, the drugs, the murders, the billions stolen, the 8 million people forced to flee their homes. Smiling. Now he's in a federal detention centre in Brooklyn. So is she, waiting for trial. The charges? Narco-terrorism conspiracy, cocaine importation conspiracy, possession of machine guns and destructive devices. Attorney General Pam Bondi posted it herself. They will face the full wrath of American justice on American soil. $50 million bounty. Finally collected. Let's break it down. They ran a narco state, US indictment, direct cartel partnerships, 250 tons of cocaine per year, military and police protection for shipments. True. Her nephews were drug traffickers, convicted in federal court, caught on tape, admitted it was to keep the family in power, shipped from presidential property. True. They stole billions while people starved, largest oil reserves on earth, hyperinflation, children dying of hunger, money sitting in Miami condos and European banks. True. Venezuela used to be wealthy, top 20 richest in the world, more oil than Saudi Arabia. Now 8 million refugees and hospitals without electricity. True, the 2024 election was legitimate, largest electoral fraud in Latin American history. International observers leaked results, everyone agrees. Hoax. They cared about their people. Starvation, mass exodus, protesters shot in the streets, journalists disappeared, cocaine profits funding the family. Hoax, the deadliest kind. Here's what stays with me. 30 years ago, people moved to Venezuela looking for a better life. The way people moved to America, full of hope. Today, 1 in 4 Venezuelans has fled the country they were born in, walking through jungles, sleeping on sidewalks, begging for food in foreign countries. And 2 days ago, the couple who made that happen finally ended up in handcuffs. Will they actually pay for what they did? I don't know. Powerful people usually find a way out. Expensive lawyers, political deals, something. But for once, there's a chance. And for millions of people who lost everything, their homes, their savings, their families, their country, that chance is the first good news they've had in a very long time. Here's what I want to know. 2 people destroy an entire country, millions starve, billions stolen, 8 million refugees, and when they finally get caught, they're smiling. So tell me, what does justice actually look like here? Prison for life, something worse? Or do they walk like powerful people always do? Drop it below. I'm reading every single one. This has been truth or hoax. The stories they wanted buried. We bring them back. If this changed how you see the world, subscribe. Because the next episode goes even deeper. And trust me, you don't want to miss it.